So first of all, Jill, just talk a little bit about the facilities here at the Lotus Training Centre and how they compare to anywhere else you've worked or anywhere that you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, they're brilliant. The fact that the women's team now train here is amazing. We've got access to all the facilities that the men's team have. So, we've got access to our new rehabilitation and recovery suite, including the pool, HydroWorks, so our underwater treadmill, which is brilliant for rehabilitation of any injury. Then we've got access to, the whole gym that the first team use as well. So we're so lucky in that sense that we have access to some amazing facilities that a lot of clubs that are potentially higher up don't have the same facilities as what we've got here. We're just in such a fortunate position that we're allowed to use everything that we can.
And how does that help the women's team progression on the pitch as well?
It just means that, they have everything that they need to be that high performing athlete that they can be. At the moment, we're not full time. That's something that, a few years down the line we hope to be. But at the moment, they have access to everything that a full time football player could ever need. That's going to help their speed, their agility, their power. So even if they're not in rehabilitation currently through an injury, they're still going to have access to all those facilities so that their performance out on the pitch can just keep increasing.
And could you just tell us a little bit of an overview of what Chardonnay's injury actually is?
Yeah, so Shards, she injured her anterior cruciate ligament, I believe, February last year, so February 2023, a full rupture of that. So your ACL is a massively important injury in your knee. It's responsible for keeping it fully nice and stable. Without it, our knee will struggle to do anything high performance. Football is an example of that. So she fully ruptured that. She had a similar injury a few years ago in her other knee, so she's very well equipped with dealing with it and understanding the anatomy of the injury. So it was quite nice that actually she was able to pick up, bits from her previous injury that she was able to take into this one. It's a big injury, and the media have highlighted so much about ACL injuries at the moment, so it's not uncommon, unfortunately.
And how is her recovery journey going? Is she developing as you would like?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. I think the fact we have access to these facilities is a testament to that. We were fortunate when I came in about July time that was part of her prehab, so before her operation took place. We were able to get her in a really good position strength-wise before her operation. Following her operation again, we had access to some really great equipment here that in a really acute phase, so the first sort of 6 to 8 weeks, we were able to get on top of managing things like swelling, reducing infection risk, which gave us a really good sort of head start of our rehabilitation. And since then, we've come on leaps and bounds. Shards is one that she isn't shy to say that she was almost, she wasn't ever very comfortable in a gym, but the fact that each night we've been able to be in the gym, we've been able to put on some really great exercises, load barbells up for her, really just make her comfortable in the gym. So at the moment we're progressing really nicely, doing what we need to do, but hopefully after she's back out on pitch, she still enjoys being in that gym environment and can make sure that actually knees, ankles, everything are in really nice shape so injuries don't occur. But at the moment she's progressing so well. We're in a really good position. We've just started running. So we've used the underwater treadmill and the HydroWorks for a couple of sessions with her, and then also our anti-gravity treadmill as well. So we're on the right track.
And just last question, you touched on it briefly there. ACL injuries seem to be a big talk at the minute, especially in the WSL and the Women's Championship. Why do you think that is such an issue in women's football at the minute?
I think there's so many different factors, and it's a discussion we have quite a lot as an MDT in the women's team at the moment, and also across the whole club with the men's team. I think we're pushing women's football like we never have before. As a country and as staff, we're wanting so much more than what was asked for maybe 20 years ago from the players that we see, even at a part-time level. And I think what we're asking them to do in a very short space of time is almost just becoming a bit too much for the natural anatomy. We think back 20 years ago, a lot of women's football teams were part-time. So a lot of the girls that are now starting to play at a higher level were only ever part-time when they were younger, so their training was part-time. They might not have had access to strength and conditioning coaches, physios, and I think just all those little factors that almost put them at a slight delay in development are probably just catching up now. And in players like Leah Williamson, Beth Mead, I think in years to come it won't be such an epidemic, because we'll have girls that have been in an environment since maybe 11 with access to great staff, great facilities, and we'll hopefully almost robust their bodies so that it doesn't happen. But at the moment it's a huge factor, and hopefully for this season Shards is our only one.